how to slide the tandems because he just came from training at a professional, large-scale trucking company, and the guy acted like he was supposed to already know how to slide the tandems. So he went back there messing with the tandems without even explaining to him what he was doing. So I'm just going to be proactive, and in case y'all need to already know what you're looking at, when you go to truck driver training, then you'll have an idea how this works. Let's go. He is a cameraman today. He doesn't like the video. So, okay, let's see, where do we begin? Sliding the tandems, right? This is a 53-foot trailer, and you're only allowed 34,000 on this axle, 34,000 on that axle. Show 'em. And then 12,000 on the front axle, in the front of the truck. So, depending on how it's loaded, I got a load right now, matter of fact. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so you see this load comes a little further than halfway down the trailer. If this was a 45,000 pound load, then you know if it's loaded up, I mean, we're going back to science class here, science and mathematics. But you know if it's loaded up in front of this axle, that these wheels are going to have to be slid further up in order for the weight to be most evenly distributed. In other words, the further this axle is back there, then the more weight is going to be up there. This load is only 20. If that was 40,000 pounds with it all the way up here, you wouldn't even be able to scale it. But that's only 20-something thousand pounds. But usually when they're loading you with 40,000 pounds or 45,000, it's going to come somewhere toward the end of the trailer. See how it's 40,000 and it's all the way to the back of the trailer. Well, not all the way to the back, but at the 48-foot mark. So then you can see how it makes a difference where you slide the axle. So this is going to be about the 48-foot mark, and a lot of times the load is going to come closer to the 48-foot mark. Alright. So what you're going to do is you're going to weigh your load. If it's heavy like that, you're going to go to the scales and weigh your load. And it's going to tell you how much weight is on the axle. And once you get familiar with this whole process, then you'll be able to judge a little bit on where the axle needs to be. And if you think it needs to be moved, then before you even go to the scale, go ahead and slide it. Then when you get to the scale, that's less adjustment you got to make. But so you'll get the load, you'll go weigh the load. Oh, let me show you that while we at it. See how I'm having trouble closing the door, right? The handle. When that happens, either you're on uneven ground or you check and see if there's play. If there's play, you see that this is hanging up right here. And the reason is because it's an older trailer and it's worn. So all you got to do is lift up on this and you can get it in that slot. And if that's not the cause, then again, it's because the trailer is not on even ground and it's twisted. So that's just an extra tidbit. So let's get into sliding this axle. So each one of these holes represent 200 pounds on some trailers. Some trailers is 250 and some trailers is 500. So, you know, you'll just have to adjust it. Make sure you know. You usually have white chalk. I got black chalk. That works great. You can't hardly see this, but you can see it. You won't be able to see it. I can see it. Okay, so all you got to do, here's the pin. So all you got to do, you got to unlock this, some of y'all are probably gonna end up with newer trailers. You had a new trailer with air pins, right? If you got an air pin, then you just push the button in, and it's gonna let those pins go in. The older trailers, you have to do that number. You see the pin went in. So all you want to do is mark it where it was. Sorry you can't see it, but I marked it. And once you weigh the load, then you will see. Oh, I got a scale. Let me get a scale for you. What you will get when you go to a scale at the at the truck stop, cat scale. And you see it's telling you the trailer axle weight, that's this. The drive axle weight, that's that one. And the steer axle weight is in the front of the truck. My trailer axle weight was 33,860. And the limit is 34,000. And as you can see, I'm legal. But if this was, let's say 43, well, let's say 35,000, then I would need to move it. I would need to shift 1,000 pounds. I would need to shift 1,000 pounds, right? If it was 35, I would need to shift 1,000 pounds. And which way would I need to shift this to get the weight off of this axle and put it up there? I would need to shift it back, right? Because if the weight is, if the load is here, and it's so much that it's causing this to be 35,000, in order to get more weight off of this wheel, I need to slide this axle that way, so that this weight is more to the front. You see the logic in that? So we'll pull this out, so that pin goes in, and that allows this axle to slide on this rail. And we don't know whether they count for 250 or 500, so let's go. So if I move it 1,500, or let's put it this way, if I assume that those holes represent in the middle, let's say 300, then I might be safe either way, no matter whether they're 250 or 300 or 500. So I'm going to try to move it 3 pins to get somewhere between 750 and 1,500. So I'll mark it there. I'm going to try to stop it. 1, 2, 3. So you pull that in, and then inside the truck, you got to do this now. First of all, you see how I'm at an angle. The reason, when you slide the tandems, you want the truck and the trailer to be in a straight line. The reason I'm parked like this, well, is because this guy's supposed to come and get this trailer, and it's a little close, so when he pulls out, he might turn sharp, and I didn't want the tail end of the trailer to clip my mirror. So remember that when you're driving, the tail end is going to swing out. Also, yes, this is important. The further back that axle is on the trailer, the less the tail of the trailer is going to swing. Let me show you. This is something you got to keep in mind too. See, the further back you got the axles, then the less amount you got to swing. The further up the axles are, then the longer the swing. So if you park beside something, you cut sharp, all of this is going to swing out. So keep that in mind as you're driving, especially city driving. People wonder why you can't start off with local driving. It's because of all these little things that matters even more in the city. You're doing it all day, every day, and you got less experience to have these things on top of mind. It's more likely that you end up in an incident. So inside, I'll take it. Inside, what we're going to do is we're going to push in the tractor brake, leave the trailer brake out, and that's going to keep the wheels locked back there so you can move the tractor forward or backwards as necessary. So first I got to straighten the truck and the trailer up together, because otherwise if you don't do that, then the axle will be in a bind on that rail, and if it's a heavy load, you're going to have trouble sliding. this brake out, that's for the trailer. And this is the tractor brake. I'm gonna press that in. And that way the trailer is locked down, the tractor is released so I can pull forward. I would need to, in order to shift the weight off the trailer tandems, and I need to slide the trailer tandems to the back, meaning I lock the trailer axle, the brakes, and pull forward to slide the axles back 3. So now you just push this back in, and when you do that, that means the pin is going to pop out when it gets to the hole. Now you see how the pin locked out? So that's my 3 holes. See, I already had it up further because I had a heavy load earlier, and I didn't slide it, so I'm gonna put it back. Well, like I said, some trailers are going to be marked, especially you go to the large carriers, they're going to have the 48-foot mark on the trailer. Most of the time, you're not going to have loads that's maxed out. Well, I ain't going to say most of the time, but a lot of times you're not going to have loads that's maxed out, so it's not going to matter where the axle is. In those cases, you still want to always have your axle at the same place. It ain't a rule. The only reason I say that is because where this axle is matters in how you make adjustments when you're backing. So if this axle is in a different spot, in a different place, every time you back up, then every time you back up is going to be different. But if this axle is in the same spot every time you back up, then you continue to hone your skills in backing up. See what I'm saying? Every time it's in a different place, it's going to be a little bit different. So if it doesn't matter, then try to have it near the same place, and that's going to usually be the 48-foot mark. So I'm going to put it back where I had it. That's why I love it, because the weight doesn't matter in this particular case. So I'm going to slide it back, and I'm going to bring it to about right here. I'm just showing you because that's where I know the wheel needs to be at the 48-foot mark. It's going to be those same holes that I slid it up from. Anytime you finish driving your truck for the day, you do your post trip. But the reason why is because you don't want to park your truck and then find out in the morning that you got a flat tire or the mud flap is torn, or well, he showed you that already. So you want to look over your truck, look at all the lines. You want to check the tires and all of that. But anyway, that's about sliding the tandems. You got any questions? These are glad handles. These provide air to the trailer, and when you handle these, you handle it. I'm left-handed. You handle it by grabbing this, not this. It's just like handling electric cords or whatever. You don't supposed to handle the cord by this part. You handle it at the end. This provides electricity to the trailer. And the same thing, you don't just be pulling this. When you pull that out, grab it up here. So that's just little tidbits. You want to make sure that's locked. But all of these little things matter, and they was tripping on him because it wasn't tripping. It was like he just didn't explain nothing about it. He just anyway, I want you to understand, it's not anything to get worked up and stressed out over whether you're moving it right or wrong. because after you shift it, you got to go back across the scale again. You're going to be all right because you're going to get on the scale and you're going to check behind yourself. And if you did it backwards, the scale is going to tell you. And then you're going to be like, oh man, I'm winning the ball that direction. So, you know, obviously, it's not rocket science. It's just remaining mindful of what you're doing.
First way, relay.
First way.
Instructor number?
8.
8.
Yes, ma'am.
You may pull forward.
All right, thank you. Make sure you don't be like the clowns. Do not be like the clowns and park in front of the scale. Sometimes it might be tempting because some of these truck stops get real busy and crowded. But you're going to have somebody else that pulls behind you and need to use the scale. So do not park in front of the scale. Find somewhere else to park. Most of the time you can get in the parking space. You might have to do a little walking. But that's the name of the game. Time to get your practice in and exercise. You hear drivers complain about can't get exercise, but then you see them circling the lot 10 times trying to park at the front door. You hear drivers, you see drivers can't back in the parking space, but they never spend time practicing. For example, when I'm talking about practicing, because they're probably going to tell you in truck driving school, never back up unless you have to. Well, this particular parking space, I could have just pulled straight up and backed straight into this hole. The reason I didn't is because it was an opportunity to practice that 90 degree. And I mean, I got plenty of hours. Get my jacket. I got plenty of hours on the clock. I'm in no hurry. I done picked up my load. You got all day. You can go as slow as you need to go to get into that hole. So I see where they're coming from when they're saying that, but it's not really the best advice. How you going to improve your backing skills? Wait a minute. How you going to improve your backing skills if you try to avoid backing? If you're always trying to avoid backing, you can't practice like that, so you can't improve like that. I got to go get this ticket. It looks good. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Can't get it much better than that. I didn't have to slide or anything, but like I said, the axles are in what I call the sweet spot. The axles are in the sweet spot where I said that it would need to be most of the time when you get a 42,000-pound load. So, and we're off. Now, I do need to qualify something that I said. When I said we're not in a rush, at the same time, that doesn't mean goof around and take all day and waste time, because we're not in an urgent rush. But at the same time, you always got to be aware of, it's called trip planning, where you are, the route you're going, when your 30-minute break is going to be required, and where you're likely to be at, or where your target is going to be at, based on what's available to you, you know, what the deal is. And so, like in this case, delivering in Rock Hill, it was about 400 miles to get there. I know I don't want to get caught up in Atlanta. Won't be a problem. I don't want to end up getting caught in Columbia, and I can make this trip straight within the 8 hours before having to take a break. So I would like to make the trip within that 8 hours, and that way I don't waste 30 minutes sitting around somewhere just to drive another hour or something like that. Because not only do I waste that time, then remember, I'm setting my clock back. The longer it takes for me to end the day, then the later I have to start the next morning. Something else I learned